Here are 20 practice problems on isolating variables. As per usual, I'll link these questions and the answer key in the description, so if you want to work ahead, you can go and do so. But if you need a little bit more help, I will be going through every single question. Or if you need further clarification, you can always shoot me a DM or something like that. Anyways, let's get started with question number 1. What? The given equation relates the variables r, s, and t. Which equation correctly expresses s in terms of r and t? Now I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what this means, so I'm gonna just look at our answer choices. And based on this, we want s to be by itself. So here is our equation, and the first thing we're gonna do is move this t over to this side. And we're gonna do that by subtracting t from both sides. Now we have that 6r minus t is equal to 7s. Now to get s by itself, we're gonna divide the entire thing by 7. And we get that our answer is going to be s is equal to 6r minus t divided by 7, or D. Question number 2. During a 5-second time interval, the average acceleration a in meters per second squared of an object with an initial velocity of 12 meters per second is defined by the equation where vf is the final velocity of the objects in meters per second. If the equation is rewritten in the form of Vf equals xa plus y, where x and y are constants, what is the value of x? Alright, that was a whole bunch of babbling just to say, here we have this equation, and then we want to change this equation into this equation. So basically we want to get Vf by itself. A is equal to Vf minus 12 divided by 5. First thing we're going to do is multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of this denominator. And then we get that a, or 5a, is equal to Vf minus 12. Then we're going to add 12 to both sides. And we get that Vf is equal to 5a plus 12. Now, we know that x and y are constants and they want the value of x. So here the value of x is going to be the number before a, and the number before a is 5. So our answer is 5. Question number 3. The given equation relates to positive numbers m, n, and p, which equation correctly gives n in terms of m and p. So here we want to get n by itself. So we have 7m is equal to 5 times n plus p. First thing, we're going to divide the entire thing by 5 so we can get this little parentheses thingy by itself. So we get that 7m divided by 5 is equal to n plus p. Then we're just going to subtract p from both sides to get n by itself. And we get that n is equal to 7m divided by 5 minus p, or B. Question number 4. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting tired of reading these questions. We know that we have an equation, and we want to get p by itself. So s is equal to 3 over 2p. To get rid of this fraction, we're gonna have to multiply by the reciprocal, which is just the fraction flipped upside down. So everything multiplied by 2 over 3. 2 over 3s is equal to p, so our answer is just A. Question number 5. Once again, we have this equation and we want to get q by itself. So this one's especially easy because all we have to do is add 29r to both sides. And we get that q is equal to s plus 29r, or B. Question number 6. We have this equation and we want to get, 4j plus 9 by itself. So first thing we're going to do is multiply both sides by 4j plus 9 to get it out of this denominator. 4j plus 9. And we get that 4j plus 9 times p is equal to k. And then we just divide the entire thing by p to get 4j plus 9 by itself. And we get that 4j plus 9 is equal to k divided by p, or A. Now there's actually a trick for these types of questions. So if we had a equation that looked like this value right here and this value right here can actually just be interchanged. And we know that's true because this is what we got after multiplying everything out. So if you ever see another equation that looks like this, just know you can always interchange this with the denominator and you don't need to do all of that math. Question number 7. Here we have this equation and we want to get k by itself. So 14j plus 5k is equal to m. First thing we're going to do is subtract 14j from both sides. And we get that 5k is equal to m minus 14j. Then we're going to divide the entire thing by 5 to get k by itself. And we get that k is equal to m minus 14j divided by 5, or a. Question number 8. We have this equation and we want to get w by itself. Also, the answer choices did mess up here. That's why C and D look a little goofy because I had to put them in myself. Alright, 14x over 7y is equal to 2 square root w plus 19. First thing we're going to do is divide the entire thing by 2. But since we do have a fraction here, dividing by 2 is also equal to just multiplying by 1/2. Now we know that 1 times 14 is just 14, and 2 times 7 is 14. So 14x over 14y is equal to the square root of w plus 19. Now we know that these two, the two 14s just cancel each other out, so I'm going to erase them. And now to get rid of this square root, we're going to square the entire equation. X over y squared is equal to w plus 19. And finally, to get w by itself, we're going to subtract 19 from both sides. So we get that, I'll just put it here, w is equal to x over y squared minus 19, or C. Question number 9. We have this equation and we want to get t by itself. So if you remember, we can exchange these two values. So it would look like t minus 2 is equal to 6 over u minus 3. Now, I'm also just going to show you what it would look like if you didn't just like swap those two real quick. So we would multiply both sides by t minus 2. So we'd have u minus 3 times t minus 2 is equal to 6. And then we want to get t by itself, so we'd have to divide the entire thing by u minus 3. So we'd get that t minus 2 is equal to 6 over u minus 3, which is the exact same thing as what we ended up with. Anyways, now we're going to add 2 to both sides to get t by itself. And we get that t is equal to 6 over u minus 3 plus 2. Now the thing about College Board is that they don't like having these two fractions here. Alright, so what we're going to have to do is combine them. Now 2, as you all know, all whole numbers technically are a fraction because they would have a 1 under them. So we technically have 6 over u minus 3 plus 2 over 1. And we want to get a common denominator so we can add them together. So we're going to multiply this entire 2 by u minus 3. And we get that t is equal to 6 over u minus 3 plus 2 times u minus 3 over u minus 3. Now if we combine everything, we get that t is equal to 6 plus 2 times u, which is 2u, minus 2 times 3, which is 6, all over u minus 3. And this positive 6 and negative 6 cancel each other out. So our answer is going to be 2u over u minus 3. Now let's look at our answer choices. The fraction 1 over u. We don't have a 1, so no. The fraction 2u plus 9. We don't have a 9, so no. The fraction 1. We don't have a 1, so no. And the fraction 2u over u minus 3 and fraction. Our answer is D. Question number 10. We have this equation and we want to get j by itself. So 8j is equal to k plus 15m. Wow, this one's also easy. We're just going to divide the entire thing by 8 to get j by itself. And we get that j is equal to k plus 15m divided by 8. So, D. Question number 11. We have this equation and we want to get t by itself. So v is equal to 331.3 plus 0.606t. First things first, I'm going to subtract this 331 from both sides. I don't know what I got selected, sorry. So we get that v minus 331.3 is equal to 0.606t. And then we're gonna divide the entire thing by 0.606 to get t by itself. 0.606. And we get that t is equal to v minus 331.3 divided by 0.606. Or, let's see, this is a plus, and that's a plus, then that's 300. So our answer is D. Question number 12. We have this equation, and we want to get n by itself. So p is equal to 20 plus 16 over n. First thing I'm going to do is subtract 20 from both sides. And we get that p minus 20 is equal to 16 over n. And if you remember, we can interchange these two values. So we get that n is equal to 16 over p minus 20, or d. Now, if you wanted to multiply this out, it would look like this, where you multiply both sides by n, and we get that n times p minus 20 is equal to 16, and then you would divide the entire thing by p minus 20 to get n by itself, and we still get that n is equal to 16 over p minus 20. So I ran out of space at the end there. Either ways, our answer is still D. Question number 13. We have this equation, and we're trying to get x by itself. 1 over 7b is equal to 11x over y. First things first, let's get rid of this y in the denominator by multiplying the entire equation by y, which is also equal to y over 1, and this definitely makes it a lot easier to see that we're multiplying y by 1, and then 7b stays the same. So we're going to have y over 7b is equal to 11x. Now we're going to divide the entire thing by 11 to get x by itself. Or that's also the same as just multiplying by the reciprocal, which is 1 over 11. And this one also makes it easy to see that y stays the same, whereas we're multiplying 7b by 11. So we get that x is equal to y over 77b, or c. Question number 14. We have this equation, and we want to get h by itself. So vb is equal to vp over 1 minus h. And if you remember, we can interchange these two values. So 1 minus h is equal to vp over vb. Now we're going to subtract 1 from both sides to get negative h by itself. And we get that negative h is equal to vp over vb minus 1. Now we want to get h by itself. That means we have to get rid of this negative sign right here. And to do that, all we have to do is divide the entire thing by negative 1, which really just means flip the signs of everything. So we get that h is equal to negative vp over vb plus 1. Or here in our answer choices, it's going to be a, or 1 minus vp over vb. And all they did was move the 1 to the front. Question number 15. We have this equation, and we want to get w by itself. So p is equal to w over t. And to get w by itself, we need to get rid of t in the denominator. So we're going to multiply the entire thing by t. And we get that pt is equal to w, or a. Question number 16. We have this equation, and we want to get h by itself. So d is equal to t minus 9 over 25 times 100 minus h. Alright, first thing we're going to do is move this t over. So subtract t from both sides. d minus t is equal to 9 over 25 times... Oh, wait, this is actually negative 9 over 25. 100 minus h. And then we want to get rid of this negative 9 over 25. So we're going to divide by negative 9 over 25. But that is also equal to just multiplying by the reciprocal. So d over t times negative 25 over 9 is equal to 100 minus h. Then we want to move this 100 over, so we're going to subtract 100 from both sides. Negative 25 over 9 d minus t minus 100 is equal to negative h. And now we need to get rid of this negative sign, so we're going to divide everything by -1, which just means flip the signs. So, finally, we get that h is equal to 25 over 9 d minus t plus 100. Now, you notice that whatever's in the parentheses stays the same, right? It's just the one on the outside that changes. So our answer is A. Question number 17. We have this equation, and we want to get p by itself. First thing we're going to do is divide the entire thing by 0.01. But if we look at our answer choices, it actually says it in terms of 100t. So this is also equal to just multiplying by 100. So we get that 100t is equal to p minus 40,000. And then we're going to add 40,000 to both sides. So our answer, p is equal to 100t plus 40,000, which is D. Question number 18. We have this equation, and we want to get t by itself. First thing we're going to do is multiply both sides by m to get rid of this denominator. So we get that v squared times m is equal to lt, and then to get t by itself, we're just going to divide the entire thing by l. So we get that t is equal to v squared m divided by l. Or, hold on, right here, A. Question number 19. We have this equation, and we want q by itself. So to get q by itself, we're just going to divide the entire thing by p, and we get that q is equal to t over p, or B. Question number 20. We have this equation, and we want c by itself. And to do that, honestly, you can just divide the entire thing by 42.5. So b divided by 42f is equal to c, or A. Alright, that was 20 practice problems on isolating variables, and I think you can tell this one is so easy. All you have to do is reverse operations, and always do it in the reverse PEMDAS order. And for these types of questions, also make sure that you never actually read the question. Like, all you need to do is find your equation, and then see what variable you're looking for. And especially for this question, like plasma volume and hematocrit, and then like blood volume, red blood cells, like all those words there are just gonna confuse you, but you don't even need to read them. You just need to look at the equation. So that's really it, and I'll see ya.